everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is another Tea Time Talk, and we are going to talk about the word amalgam. Amalgam in the dictionary is defined as a mixture or a blend. It is a noun. This is my word. When I was first in college, my roommates and I, we went to a secondhand store to look for a piece of furniture. I don't remember what it was, but it was probably that couch. Oh, that couch. Anyway, while they were looking, I did what I do best, and I found the books. And I found this book, Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. I read it, and I loved it more than I thought I would. It changed my life. Yeah, I'm gonna be cheesy and say, it changed my life. Not a whole lot, just a little bit, but it did. So I have to be honest and say that it did. For the first time, I really understood what wanderlust meant, and I was filled with it, and I had all these new dreams. My whole goals changed, and I was a different person. My dreams didn't happen because life, but they made me feel happy. I became obsessed with finding my word. In here, she says that there is a word that matches, I think that's correct. It's been a while since I've read this book, but she says that there is a word that matches everybody, and there's also a word that matches every city, and there's like this whole spiel about what her word is, what her friend's word is, what the other cities are, their words are, and I needed to find my word. In my junior English class, we learned vocabulary. I learned a bunch of different words that I liked, dilapidated, libel, and amalgam being my favorites. I want amalgam to be my word because I don't fit into any box that I have ever tried to put myself into. For example, I love music. I love music so much. I love music. I love listening to it. I love singing it. But I can't read it. And I can't sing in front of people without falling to pieces. If you listened to all the songs that I have on multiple playlists of mine, if you combined all those playlists together, you would be confused. I'd like to think you'd be confused because I listen to music that when put together doesn't make sense. I listen to a lot of different kinds of music, and sometimes when I put them all together and I shuffle from one song to another, will be really kind of jarring and confusing because they'll be like opposite ends of the spectrum. Sort of. I mean, like, I don't listen to all types of music, but I listen to enough music that it's jarring sometimes. I also don't understand generation gap. I know it means it's a kind of social and entertainment-wise kind of disconnect between generally you and your parents, because you don't get the things that they understand, and they don't understand the things that you understand, and you don't like the things that they grew up liking, and they don't like the things that you have grown up liking. I don't get that. Grandparents, parents, siblings, and my friends, my peers, I like all the things from all those generations. And yes, technically, I am in a different generation than my oldest sister. She is 15 years older than me. And all of my siblings identify as, okay, like, there's these, we're technically my oldest sister is a Gen X, but, no, not Gen X, Gen X, I can't remember, and then the rest of us are millennials, but all of my other siblings, you can include my oldest sister in this too because she's technically in the other generation, but she was born in December of the last year, So she identifies with all of my siblings who are kind of like in that bubble of older millennial where they don't really identify as a millennial, but they technically are. And you know how like millennials have like been split, so it's like half the 80s and older, and then half the 80s and the 90s. Like you're kind of like towards the end of the 80s and then all the 90s kids, and then they kind of like split. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but that's a thing that I heard. So technically I'm in a different generation than all of my siblings that are alive anyway. And I still like the things that they liked to listen to and watch when they were younger and growing up, and I like the things that my parents listened to and watched in high school and while they were growing up. And I love the music from my grandparents' era, and some of the movies that I've seen I've absolutely adored, and I like the things that my generation is producing and making and all these things. And the younger kids, like my nieces and nephews, they have some pretty cool stuff going on over there in their generation too. I don't understand the generation gap. I don't. I'm probably like the worst millennial ever because I don't really get technology, and I have difficulty doing all the millennial things. But I still like it. So yeah, I don't understand generation gap. There are things that I'm not comfortable talking about yet that also show why I am an amalgam and don't fit into boxes. I should be able to talk about these things, but I don't feel like I can because I don't feel I have the right to. It's difficult because yes, I do think those thoughts, and yes, I do struggle with those habits and those actions, and yeah, I have those problems in my life, but not in the way that people with the same issues have talked about or has been portrayed. So I don't feel like I should, because when I do, I feel like I'm being stupid and overly dramatic, and that it's not enough, really, to be like those other people, to talk about my issues the way that they do. And it just doesn't feel like I should, because it's not enough. It's not that. It's not what I see, what I hear, and it's I just feel like if I talk about it, I'm being too dramatic or too stupid, and it's not that important. So I don't feel like I belong with those people, but I don't feel like I belong with the other set of people who don't have those issues, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. Also, I still don't know if I'm a geek or if I'm a nerd. Check that other tea time talk out. I still haven't figured that out. Also, here I am on YouTube in between two pretty different niches, booktube and lifestyle, and I'm struggling to feel like I belong in either, because I'm doing half this and half that, and I'm trying to make it work, and I'm struggling, and I don't think that it's working, and I want to do this so badly, but my whole goal is to connect, and I don't know if it's working. I don't know. So I don't feel like I belong here. I don't feel like I belong on booktube, but I am a booktuber, and I don't feel like I belong with the lifestyle vloggers, because I've been focusing mostly on the fandom side, but my life is my fandoms, family, and friends. That is my life. my fandoms, family, faith, and friends, those are my life. And BookTube is a part of that, and I'm trying to mush it together, and I'm not fitting in either of the categories, and they say to pick a niche and focus solely on that, and then expand, but this is my niche. I want to be a geek, or a nerd, I don't know, lifestyle vlog, and part of that is being a booktuber, because I love talking about books, but I don't want to just talk about books. Because that's not the only fandom that I'm in. So I'm struggling with that. I don't know where I belong, or if I belong. Also, the way that I talk is a mixture of things. It is a mixture of the books I read, the shows and movies that I watch, the songs that I listen to, song lyrics, and the people that are around me. I can sound like my best friend, I can sound like my older sister, I can sound like my mom, I can sound like a character off of the show. It's just, or someone in a book, and I don't know. The way that I talk, the words that I say, those are a mixture of all the things in my life. It's not just me that's speaking when I speak. My family is an amalgam. I'm the mixture of very different types of people. My mom is from an Eastern proper family. My dad is from here. He grew up in this country. I mean like this, like the country, this area of it. Like the house that he grew up in is not too far away from where I'm living right now. So I grew up learning proper manners, how to set a table, all the workings of the upper classes, but I also grew up covered in dirt and not setting the table properly all the time. So yeah, I grew up with a mixture of those two different lifestyles. I'm related to nobility. I am related to people who founded things, to people who guarded presidents and befriended prophets. Like I am a descendant of two very different sides of people who did so many great things, and I don't even know what I really want to do with my career side of my life. My degree has nothing to do with my job, and I'm not sure not sure what I'm going to do with my life, honestly. Still to this day, I'm almost 25, and I still don't know what I'm going to do with my life. My siblings are 10 plus years older than me, the ones that are alive. I got left alone a lot as a child. Not like really alone, like my parents were there, but like I was alone. My friends were gone, my siblings were gone. I never got invited to things. I got invited to 2 birthday parties from elementary school to high school. One time I knew I was unwanted. They literally told me, I have to invite you. Family, they're great. So because of this, I am very comfortable with empty silences, being alone, being on my own. But I do wish my family and my friends would invade my privacy more than they do, or at all. I'd like it if my house was filled with noises, other than birds, and a cat playing with her mouse, and a dog. I got a dog. He's cute. I am not one thing. I can't be one thing. I am kind and loyal. I am cold and unforgiving. My sister says my soul is yellow and happy and uplifting. I think it's more of a really dark blue, almost black kind of color. I am scary. and very morbid. But I am also very sweet and an optimist. I worry about everything and everyone. Even if I don't know you, I worry about you, and I hope that you're doing okay. I am a mixture of everyone and everything that has ever been in my life in any way, shape, or form. I am an amalgam. So that is it for this week's Tea Time Talk. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below some other things that you would like to hear me talk about during a Tea Time Talk. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and stick around, because next week I am going to show you guys my vlog of my very first readathon, which is going on right now, and I have to get back to it, and I've got a lot of things to do. I have to go driving today. So, stick around for that, and until then, I hope you guys are having an amazing week and an amazing life, and I will see you guys next week. Bye! This was not tea. It was Dr. Pepper and a lot of flavors.